Hello everyone, we are finally kicking off NHL season previews, and today for the 2021-22 season we are going to be talking about the Winnipeg Jets to start off, as we'll be going in reverse alphabetical order. Before we start, please make sure to like and subscribe. Now let's get to it. So for the Jets, this is a team that made the playoffs last year and realistically had a really good chance of going to the conference finals in a rematch with Vegas, just like 2018. However, the Canadians upset them in 4 games in the second round, and they have another rough season, or they had another rough offseason, where they had to wonder what went wrong in the playoffs. So, really, will this team be any different from the Jets teams from years past? And can they get back to making deep runs like they did in the playoffs in 2018? And we're going to talk about that. So the Jets, this is a big thing this year. Can they make the playoffs? Will they make the playoffs? And that's a big question here is going to be about their blue line additions of Brennan and Nate Schmidt. Now, Dillon was acquired by the Jets from the Capitals for 2 second-round picks this offseason and could play a huge role in Winnipeg. Dillon is 30 and doesn't provide a earth-shattering amount of production offensively, but he's an underrated two-way defenseman and was on pace for a career-best 29 points last season. Now, the defensive aspect of his game is a big thing to take away here for Jets fans, as the Jets allowed the second most high-danger chances last season and the year before that. Now, defensive issues have plagued Winnipeg for some time on the blue line and in general, and if he can play 20-plus minutes a night and stabilize the team defensively, then he'll easily be worth the $3.9 million that he'll be getting paid this season. Then, of course, you have Nate Schmidt, who was acquired from the Vancouver Canucks for a 2022 third-round pick. Now, this move, I am a little worried for Winnipeg just because he's making almost $6 million a season for the next 4 years, and last year was kind of rough for him. Now, he did play a ton of minutes with Alex Edler, and they weren't lighting up the lamppost last year, so with a good pairing, things could change, especially if he gets paired with Josh Morrissey. We'll have to see how it plays out, but Morrissey does have the 47th most points by a defenseman the past 3 seasons, so if Morrissey can get back into that groove with Schmidt, we'll have to see how that works out. Now, it's not a guarantee that it will work out, but Schmidt's offensive prowess could be huge for the Jets, as from 2018-19 that season through 2019-20, he ranked 15th in the league for offensive production by a defenseman according to EvolvingHockey.com. Now, on to the player behind the blue line, and that is Conor Hillebuck. And he is the biggest piece of whether or not Winnipeg can make a deep run in the playoffs this year. I truly do believe that Hillebuck is a top 3 goalie in the league right now. And in fact, since his debut in the NHL, no goalie has a higher SPAR, that is standing points above replacement, than him, as he has been worth 23 wins above replacement over the past 6 seasons. He's also tied 3rd in the league for wins with 172 since his rookie year. And now, wins are not everything, I do understand that, but if you consider some of the teams that Winnipeg has put together defensively, that is when you have to look back and say, wow, it's really incredible that he's had 3 30-plus win seasons so far. That's been really amazing. Now, Conor has to be healthy this season, and if he's not, then Winnipeg could be in a really precarious position, as Eric Comrie is the current listed backup, and he only has 9 games of NHL experience in 5 seasons. That is the really troubling part for me for Winnipeg, is that backup goalie spot, because it is so unproven. They'll have to figure out if that can work, and going forward, how are they going to make sure that Hillebuck doesn't have to play 50, 60 games this upcoming year, because they have been playing him too much. It is what it is, but it really does have to change, as he has led the league for goalies or games played by a goalie 3 times in the past 4 seasons, which leads to the last topic, of which will be, what is the bottom 6 production like? Now, the top 6 really doesn't worry me too much, but I've got some major concerns about what the bottom 6 for the Winnipeg Jets can do this year. If guys like Andrew Copp and Adam Lowry can produce, it will make things a lot easier. Currently, Copp is projected on the 3rd line, if you are wondering. But also, I'm really wondering what David Gustafson can do for them. David was a 2nd-round pick by Winnipeg in 2018 and hasn't got a real chance in the NHL to prove himself yet. He has 1 point in 26 games, but it's kind of deceiving because he hasn't even averaged over 6.5 minutes of playing time so far in his career. Now, if he can play a big part for them on the third or fourth line where he's projected this season, then that could provide some major scoring relief. Also, could we see a 2020 first-round pick, Cole Perfetti, this upcoming year? Maybe. I won't rule anything out, but I don't know just yet. Now, I do think Winnipeg could make the playoffs this year, but do I think the outcome will change for them, which is the whole purpose of this video? And unfortunately, my answer is I really can't tell you. You know, they are going to be back in the Central. Colorado is a lock to make the playoffs. They'll have a good chance of being a top team in the league. I know that the Central is rough, but that only leaves 2 more guaranteed spots in the Central, and you have teams like Chicago that have improved. You've got Dallas, we'll have to see how they do. Minnesota, they made the playoffs last year. Nashville, who knows with them. St. Louis, again, another kind of odd team to pick. And then, of course, Winnipeg, they're all there trying to fight for those 2 spots. And I know I didn't include Arizona in that list, but it's because they're doing a rebuild. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if Winnipeg did make the playoffs and went on a deep run because of their amazing goalie and top 6 production. But I also wouldn't be shocked to see them miss the playoffs due to the Central being such a tough division and Hillebuck's health. That'll be a big thing. He cannot afford to get hurt. Otherwise, I think they're going to be in a really tough spot. So it's kind of a mixed bag for me, but certainly I think they should be or could be better than last year because they get to play in divisional games, and we'll have to see how that goes with the Coyotes and all that. Now, what do you think the Winnipeg Jets 2021-2022 season will be like? Let me know down below. Also, please make sure to like and subscribe. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night. You go love hockey, all right? Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.